17-year-old Dominique Dawes on the heels of a 9.9 bars routine, spectacular on the floor.
Tell me you wouldn't be dizzy after all of this, Dan. 2 twists, change your direction. She's not done, only halfway through. Watch this now. 2.5 twists and instantly bounds a front flip out of it. It's incredible.
Great start for Dominique Dawes. Let's go down to the floor and join Marianne Grabavoy.
The overwhelming talent of a world-class gymnast can sometimes hold an entire family hostage. The burden of training bills, 6 a.m. practices, can be as tough on parents and siblings as it is on the athlete. Now, for some gymnasts, doting parents make things easier. For others, like Dominique Dawes, life's a little tougher. But then again, it's safe to say that she's a little tougher, and it's also safe to say that she's a little special. With her win last week at the McDonald's American Cup, Olympian Dominique Dawes reinforced her standing as one of America's premier gymnasts. Growing up in suburban Washington, D.C., a descendant of slaves and Native American Indians, Dominique is the gifted middle child whose talent blossomed early and demanded a lot. Life around the Dawes home was especially tough because of Dominique's arduous training schedule. Last year, her mother, Loretta, told us just how hard it was.
Yeah, it's 5 days a week, up at 6:30 in the morning, leaving out of the house about 7:15, 7:20. And then I take her on up to the gym, since practice starts about 8 o'clock in the morning, and some days she gets out at 5, you know, and then once you get home, I got to fix dinner. You know, that's a strain right there. Wash dishes, fix dinner. Same routine.
Still, throughout the sacrifices that have led her to this pinnacle of athletic achievement, the love of her family fostered a bright outlook.
Where did you get this good perspective?
Probably from my parents and my coaches. They've just motivated me a lot and taught me a lot.
What do they tell you?
To always believe in myself, to stick with my goals, and don't let anyone take any of my beliefs away from me.
The focus on Dominique was tough on her older sister, Danielle, but Dominique fostered a special relationship with her younger brother, Don, who had special needs of his own. While Dominique's world was a noisy gym, her brother's was the silent, perplexing world of autism.
Autistic, I believe, is when there's something wrong physically with the left side of your brain, maybe like extra fluid or something like that, and it just blocks his... Right now, he just isn't able to speak to us verbally, but he does communicate through other ways. Sometimes I'd get really frustrated with him, but then I'd just give him a big hug and just tell him that I loved him and everything.
If Dominique could have her way, there'd be hugs all the time, and she'd be at home bouncing on the trampoline with Don.
Well, we have a trampoline in our backyard, and he really likes to jump tramp, so I like to do that with him when I come home on the weekends, and I like to keep him, try to get him in shape and do sit-ups and stuff like that.
But the needful brother and the loving sister aren't together much anymore. Like so many families, the Dawes household has broken apart. Because of charges of alcohol abuse and domestic violence against one another, Dominique's parents now live in separate houses just a block apart, but separated by an emotional gulf and a court restraining order.
It was rough times and bad times, and the good is Dominique has kept her focused in a direction of wanting to, you know, her level of achievement is staying the same.
Well, the part that I'm sad about is, you know, I wish my family was still a family, you know, but that's life.
Has it been tough?
A little bit, but I try to block it out when I'm thinking of my gymnastics and just focus on what I need to be concentrating on, and then when I get home, then I try to help out with the situations.
Now, Dominique has put her trust, and indeed her life, in the hands of Kelly Hill. Her coach since the age of 6, Kelly has taken her into her home like a daughter.
I would always want to be there for her, whether she's 10 years old, 20 years old, or 50 years old. I enjoy the fact that she feels like she has somewhere to turn to in me.
What does she represent to you?
Everything. She's there at all times, coach, mother, anything. Like, it just means a lot to me, and so does my parents and everything at home.
If there's one thing that you've learned from all this, what have you learned?
From gymnastics.
From gymnastics, difficulties at home. What have you learned?
I guess, probably just to love everyone.
Well, Dominique Dawes and her teammate John Roethlisberger in first place after the first round, but John Roethlisberger is next on the floor exercise, and we'll have that when we return to West Palm Beach. This is now John Roethlisberger on the floor exercise, his second rotation of the competition.
And Dan, the critical aspect of this routine comes right off the bat. Very difficult mount, double twisting double. He's had some problems with it. Two flips, two twists. Oh! Big step back and a step out of bounds. Mandatory deduction of 1/10 of a point when you go out of bounds, and then, of course, the step on top of it. John's thinking, get back on track here. Gotta somehow erase that memory from your brain. A lot of front tumbling by both the men and the women in this competition. Well, he's right back in there. Now his dismount, it's a full twisting double somersault. A lot to do at the end. He's tired here. Oh, just doesn't quite make it around.
Good enough to stay in first?
Yeah.
And this is where it went wrong. Remember, you step out of bounds, it's a deduction. And of course, whenever you move your feet on a landing, a deduction on top of that. Hard pass here, though, double twisting double, but there are the mistakes.
And the scores for Roethlisberger and Dawes. Remember, only one American team is allowed to qualify for the third and final round. And we'll see if Roethlisberger and Dawes' scores are good enough when we come back.
A very expensive maker of lawn tractors likes to say, nothing.
For international mixed pairs. Now, a moment ago, this is Amanda Borden, part of the other American team, trying to make it into the third and final round, and this was the final portion of her beam routine.
Totally blind skill here. A front somersault, can't see the landing. Very nicely done. You know, Dan, I can't imagine choosing the beam as an event to do if you didn't have to do it. It's just so risky.
Well, Dominique Dawes has chosen the balance beam for her final event of the night, if she makes it into the third and final round.
Just the dismount remaining here. So critical that you get both feet down squarely and firmly on the beam to push yourself into the air right there.
That was Amanda Borden, her balance beam routine in the second round, and now Cheney Humphrey set to take to the high bar, trying to move this American team into the third and final round.
And you know, Dan, he has had all kinds of problems with his release elements. I don't know what he's planning on doing. He's supposed to try to do 4 in a row. They come right here. Here we go. That's 2. A little bit close here. Oh, and he's got it.
Now, did he decide in mid-routine that he was going to go for that?
Well, he probably had a plan, Dan, but he can change at any moment. Big dismount here. Double twisting, double somersault. Nowhere near enough rotation. Big trouble there. Wow, that wasn't even close.
His teammate Amanda Borden already completing the balance beam, watching Humphrey on the high bar with a mistake at the end.
And you see it right from the start, twists right off of the bar. And like I said, nowhere near enough rotation, at least 5/10 of a point on that landing.
And now the scores for Amanda Borden and Cheney Humphrey. 37.975 overall points. That trails Dominique Dawes and John Roethlisberger. So if an American pair advances to the third and final round, it'll be Dominique and John Roethlisberger. Now the Ukrainian team in third place after the first round. This is Lilia Podkopayeva on the vault.
And on vaulting, you need power, big speed, big push, and a good landing. Now watch what she does here. She runs as fast as she can, and she just punches the horse right there with both arms, and that thrusts her body into the air to do that 1.5 flips.
Unlike the men, the women get 2 vaults, and they average the 2 scores.
Same vault here. Just got to land it a little cleaner, and she does it. The only criticism I have, Dan, is that watch here. When she lands, her feet are a little bit apart, and one is in front of the other. Once again, big push, but looks a little bit like a ski jumper right there, one leg in front of the other.
Lilia, just 15 years old. Her partner, Rustam Sharipov, much more experienced, 22 years old, and now he's set to take to the parallel bars.
Dan, when I watch Sharipov on parallel bars, I am amazed. He does a sequence that I'll set up for you in the middle of this exercise that the best gymnasts in the world today marvel at. Coming up right here, he'll just keep going, one skill after another. And then it ends. Watch this double front. Oh. It's incredible. Gotta stick the landing, though. Double pike somersault. Ooh, big step on the landing, but I'm telling you, that is so awesome.
Will it be enough to take over first place from Dawes and Roethlisberger?
And Dan, let's take a look at this sequence again, because I, as a fan, I want to see it again. This is incredible. Heelys, watch this now. Right into a double front somersault. It is so hard and done so well.
And we will have the second round scores of the Ukrainian team after these messages and a word from your local station. Take me back to West Palm Beach, and the scores for Lilia Podkopayeva and Rustam Sharipov, good enough to vault them into the lead. They pass Americans Dominique Dawes and John Roethlisberger. Now, Elena Piskun, ready for the vault. Her team from Belarus with Vitaly Sherba in 4th place after the first round.
And she'll do a Yurchenko-style vault. That means she'll do a half turn onto the board and start flipping backwards. 2 twists in the air. Boy, Dan, I've seen her do that about 25 times over the past week, and that was the best one she's done the entire time. So watch, she does this half turn onto the board and then leaves the horse 2 twists. Her teammate Vitaly Sherba showed us that vault a little bit earlier.
And there is Sherba. He'll be set to go next on the high bar, but Piskun still with her second vault.
Always thought it was a little unfair. The women got 2 tries at their vaults. Same vault here. Oh boy, just about as close to a carbon copy as you can get in the sport of gymnastics.
16-year-old Yelena Piskun, part of the defending champion pair with Vitaly Sherba.
So once again, she does that half turn onto the horse. Maybe not quite as good of a push off of the horse, but the landing, it's identical.
And now, Piskun will watch Vitaly Sherba take part in his second rotation. The high bar, he began with a vault. Solid performance there. He'll try to keep the momentum going here.
Well, we talked about Cheney and his 4 releases in a row, and believe it or not, folks, Vitaly is going to attempt to do 5 in a row. Right here. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, and 1 more. Oh, he's got it. Now he packs so much difficulty into that first sequence, he's actually doing an easier dismount than usual. Just a full twisting double layout. Got to stick it. Hop on the landing there, though.
Yelena Piskun and Vitaly Sherbo need a combined 19.430 to pass the Ukrainian team into first place.
Last half of this release sequence. Sees the bar, kicks his toes up, and does one more. That's beautiful. And the dismount, I said he does an easier one than he used to do. Used to do 2 twists, now does just 1. But Dan, when you make it easier, you're supposed to stick it here.
But will the routine be good enough to boost Sherba and Yelena Piskun into the third and final round, awaiting their scores? And their scores have put them into a tie for the lead, so Sherba and Piskun head to the third and final round, tied with Lilia Podkapayeva and Rustam Sharipov of Ukraine. In third place, the Americans Dominique Dawes and John Roethlisberger will have the third and final round from West Palm Beach when we come back. Their title. The order in the third and final round will be Podkapayeva and Sharipov, followed by Piskun and Sherba, and then the Americans Dawes and Roethlisberger. And now Podkapayeva set to go in the floor exercise.
And I talked about all the front tumbling that's being done. And you'll see a tremendous amount of it right here. Oh, I think she steps out there, Dan. That's a 1/10 of a point.
Lilia Podkapayeva, one to watch, not a factor in last year's World Championships, Tim, but this is definitely a gymnast who could make a big impact, perhaps even in Atlanta in 1996.
Upcoming star, but even stars sometimes make mistakes. Big first tumbling pass. Very unorthodox. Double front somersault. But look at this. She takes a big step forward, and oh, I think she's out of bounds right there. And yeah, when you step on that white, that means that you're out of bounds. It's a mandatory 1/10 of a point deduction.
And now Podkapayeva's partner, Rustam Sharipov. Maybe he'll have to make up for that loss of a 1/10 of a point. He's on the high bar, and he has been very impressive in his first 2 rotations in this competition.
Well, if you haven't figured it out yet, I am certainly a fan of Sharipov's gymnastics. He does what we call big gymnastics. He'll start off the skill called a Gaylord right here, all the way over the bar. Got it. He's not done. 3 releases in a row. Each one goes a little higher. Oh! Oh, that's beautiful. Little gasp of breath there, and I said big gymnastics, folks. 3 flips, 1 piece of air, 1, 2, 3. Oh, and a small hop on the landing, but guys, that was a great set.
His partner, Podkapayeva, liked it. Rustam Sharipov, member of the gold medal unified team in Barcelona in '92. There is Vitaly Sherba. We'll get the scores for the Ukrainians and see Sherba's routine when we come back. The scores for Rustam Sharipov and Lilia Podkapayeva of Ukraine. The first of the 3 final teams in the final round of competition. And now Elena Piscun on the uneven bars. Piscun and Scherbo need to average just under 9.5 to take over the lead.
Big releases on uneven bars, and she does it as well as anyone. Watch this, right to the low bar. This you usually see on men's high bar. Now just a big dismount, a lot of speed. And a stuck landing. Not bad at all.
They need 2 solid routines to take over first place from the Ukrainians, and don't forget about the Americans.
The thing I love about this routine, it has a lot of action, big release, and then she just flies to that lower bar. Dismount. Remember, you got to generate as much speed as possible. This is a double laid out somersault. Gymnastics 101, stick the landing.
So Piscun done for the competition. Vitaly Scherbo will try to add to her score on the pommel horse.
And this was really a surprise to me when I saw that he elected to do pommel horse for his last event.
And why is that?
Well, personally, I think he's much stronger on both floor and on parallel bars, but we'll have to see here. Maybe he'll make a liar out of me. Watch this. It's called a spindle. His body's moving the opposite way that he's circling. Hands just about everywhere on that horse. Great exercise so far. Looks a little bit tired, and just a slight form break right there. Nothing major, though. Getting ready for his dismount. Little bit tired here. Big flares. Oh, and the hand just... Wow, it just slipped right off the horse stand. I don't know what happened.
The team from Belarus, the defending champions, Yelena Piscun and Vitaly Scherbo, have completed their 3 rounds of competition.
Let's see if we can determine what goes wrong. He's perfect right now, but he's a little bit tired here. And you see that hand, it just slips right out from underneath him. And nobody's more surprised than Vitaly.
Or relieved. Piscun and Scherbo, the scores good enough to take over the lead. The only team with a chance to catch them now, the Americans, Dominique Dawes and John Roethlisberger, will have their final competition when we come back. 16-year-old Yelena Piscun of Belarus, part of the defending championship pair, along with the reigning world champion Vitaly Scherbo. They have the lead. The Americans getting set for the final routines of the night. Dominique Dawes beginning on the balance beam. Dawes and Roethlisberger have to average a little under 9.75 on their respective routines. That's asking an awful lot.
Asking almost perfection. Dawes certainly capable. World Championship silver medalist. And this right here, it's amazing she can even fit it on the beam. 4 elements. Oh, and perfectly on. Her next element here, a running front somersault, very difficult because you can't see the ground.
Absolutely solid.
Solid is right. Describes Dominique Dawes lately. Confidence just seems to keep growing, getting stronger, getting better. No one tumbles on the beam like Dominique Dawes. 2 back handsprings into a full twisting double somersault.
You mentioned, Tim, how chancy it is to end the competition on the balance beam, but Kelly Hill told me before the meet that that's the order that Dominique chose, to end with a balance beam, and she hit it.
It's a great routine right off the bat. Remember, I pointed out she does 4 elements in a row, a back handspring. There it is. And then 3 of these layout step-outs. I can't believe she can fit it on one balance beam. And perfectly on balance. Now, I said no one tumbles on the beam like Dominique. She's got to smash her feet onto that beam to get her body high enough in the air to do a full twisting double somersault.
Dominique Dawes swept all 4 events last week in Orlando at the McDonald's American Cup, and she has picked up today where she left off. Vitaly Sherba still in first place with the final competition left for John Roethlisberger. And if anybody feels the pressure, it has to be Roethlisberger, with Dominique Dawes with a near flawless routine on the beam, and Roethlisberger knows he has to be just about perfect on the high bar.
We set a 9.75 average from both of the athletes, and that is really asking John to be just about perfect on high bar, as you said, Dan. Once again, you got to let go of the bar on high bar, but you got to catch it. He does his off of one arm. Here it comes right here, over the top. Right on there. Nice routine so far. His dismount a little unorthodox here. Oh, with another full twist. And he rocks the landing. Dan, I've never seen him do this dismount. Never in competition.
Will it be enough, combined with Dawes, to take over first place?
Well, let's look at that dismount again. I guess he sensed he needed something extra special. Adds another full twist. Like I said, never seen him do it before, and best part about it, he sticks the landing.
Roethlisberger and Dawes need a combined score of 19.455 to win the championship. They get a 19.450. That puts them into a tie with Vitaly Sherba and Yelena Piskun of Belarus. I know there's no overtime in gymnastics, but there is a tiebreaker.
Well, what happens now is you take the highest individual event score, and that is your winning team.
And the highest individual score was Dominique Dawes' 9.9 in the very first routine of the night on the uneven bars. So the Americans win it, and with the winning team is our own Marianne Grabavoy.
John, it was a tie, but on the strength of Dominique's bar routine, you win.
Well, you know, coming in, you know, I knew Dom was tough, and I knew she'd pull it out for us.
They always said you were consistent but not flashy. Consistent was darn good today.
You know, I guess I'd take consistent if I had to pick one.
Dominique, last weekend American Cup champion, now mixed pairs champion. You are on a roll.
Yeah, this was one of my better competitions, and I don't think I would have been able to do as well as I did without John's fake confidence.
Aww.
Pretty good team here?
Yeah.
See you next year?
Hopefully.
Yeah.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Thank you, Marianne. Dominique Dawes and John Roethlisberger knock off the defending champions by the slimmest of margins. They need a tiebreaker to do it. Lilia Podkapayeva and Rustam Sharipov finish in third. Now Marianne's with the runners-up.
Vitaly, it was a tie. Are you upset with how it turned out?
Of course.
Did you know about how the
You
rules...
know, it's not gymnastics. It's judges. What they want to do, they are doing, you know. It's not right. It's not gymnastics. I can say it on TV, this stuff.
Did you know about the tiebreaker before the competition?
No. Of course not. Who knows?
Yelena, is it fun to compete with Vitaly?
Yes, of course. It's very funny.
How many years have you known him?
4, I think.
He's your hero?
Yes.
Of course. Congratulations.
Thank you very much.
And I think we also know who the true spokesperson is of the team from Belarus. The winning performance once again turned in on the uneven bars by Dominique Dawes, a 9.9.
This is NBC's Sports World, and today it was brought to you by McDonald's.
International mixed pairs champions, Americans Dominique Dawes and John Roethlisberger. For Tim Daggett and Marianne Grabavoy, I'm Dan Hicks saying so long from the West Palm Beach Auditorium in West Palm Beach. This has been a presentation of NBC Sports.